All right, well, welcome everybody to Thursday night's training call webinar. We're very excited, obviously, to have you here. Thank you again for taking so much time out of your schedule here on a Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will be back to our regular scheduled time, I believe, starting next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typically is when we do the training. So 10 o'clock is a little late, but we've got a lot of people. A lot of people on tonight, so maybe it is a good idea sometimes for the West Coast folks, some people in other countries as well. So we do have some other people coming on as we speak, so we'll give it another few minutes or so. We actually had quite a few people register, so we'll give it just a few minutes or so, and we'll get started here in just another minute or so. I don't anticipate the training being too long tonight. We'll go through it, maybe do like a Q&A at the end if we need to, just because you guys may have some questions in regards to what we covered this evening. But if not, hopefully you guys get some value of what it is that we're going to cover tonight. So again, excited to have you here. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate it. Again, I'm actually going to share my screen. Just give me a second. If you guys can all see my screen okay, I know I can see it on my end, but I want to make sure that you all can see it on your end as well. It's not good to have a presentation going if you can't see the screen. So if you could let me know, that would be great. Just type in the box there that yes, you can see my screen, and yes, you can hear me okay. That'd be great, and we'll get kicked off here in just a second. And again, I'll just wait for everybody to let me know if you could in the live chat area that we're live. Usually there's about a 1-minute delay a lot of times with Google, so so we're not worried about that. Again, I'm just waiting for everybody to let me know through the live chat there if you could. We'll leave that up tonight. So again, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to. So okay, great. Questions are coming in right now, so we're good to go. Okay, awesome. Well, listen, I want to talk tonight about linear and residual income. Some people call residual income passive income. There's many different words for it. We're going to cover a few of those tonight, but sometimes people get a little confused by the two. Sometimes people hear different things, and sometimes people actually take those words that they hear and match it or match it to an opportunity or whatever it is that they may have heard about, right? It's not always. Some people hear the word passive, and they get all scared because some people refer to the word passive through opportunities that may not be legitimate, or that they may be some type of pay-per-click or maybe some type of rev share model or something like that. So Ingresso Cybernetico is so far from that. I mean, we have such incredible valued products, obviously, as you all know, and we've talked about that over and over and over again. But you all know what incredible products we have. I mean, we're actually doing our webinars on our own webinar platform. How cool is that? I mean, really, truly, this company has just continued to provide products and value to everybody that's out there that chooses to be part of Ingresso Cybernetico. So, so thank you so much for this company. I know Dwayne, and Juan Carlos Alaya and Jatine. I mean, they do a great job at providing us with the tools and resources that we need to go out there and just dominate on the internet. So, really, really. Couldn't be happier with this company. I love it. So let's dive into it a little bit. Let's talk about the differences in these two incomes, because sometimes people do not know the differences, and we want to make sure that you have a clear understanding of that, because it truly is important and powerful to understand the true power of residual income. Most people are linear income people. They actually, a lot of you go to a 9-to-5 job. Some of you actually 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'll tell you, I did that for many, many years, and I got really, really burnt out. And when I discovered residual income and I discovered this industry itself, I was addicted. And I think a lot of us are really, once you experience true residual income, you'll never want to go. You'll never know anything else. You'll never want to go back to anything else. Even if you're in a linear job, you're getting paid linear income through your job. You always have that in the back of your mind that you are going to be a residual income person, But here's the key. It takes hard work. It takes dedication, like we talked about the other night. It takes focus, no distractions, that type of stuff. It really does take a lot of hard work. The problem is most people quit before they see that, which is sad because truly it is possible for each and every one of us to achieve it. All right, but let's talk about the differences between the two and why it's important for us to know it. For one, it's important to know because people are sometimes going to ask you that in the industry. And then two is you want to be able to explain this to people because you're going to get that question, why is your industry so great? When they look at a product that you're offering and of course they see it might be more expensive in network marketing or direct sales than it is to buy it in retail. I've went through that before. You have to be able to overcome objections. You have to do that with any type of sales job or any type of environment where you're selling something or you're talking about the value of another product. You have to be able to identify not necessarily what's different about the product, but what's different about the unique opportunity that presents itself, right? What's great about Ingresso Cybernetico is a lot of you already know this, and I don't really have to repeat this, but some of you that are new to Ingresso Cybernetico, you may need to hear this, is that if you haven't figured that out yet, our products are literally saving people hundreds of dollars a month. Some of you are still not using all the products, which is okay because some of you actually don't have experience necessarily in internet marketing and you're just learning. And that's why we do these training calls. So we're very excited for all of those people that are tuned in tonight because this is the right place to learn certain things. I mean, any type of training call facilitated by the company is just an incredible opportunity for you to learn different things and to be able to expand your knowledge and experience with internet marketing. So, but our products, folks, are literally saving people money. We don't have to convince people to buy a product at a higher cost, okay? But let's get back to the income here. We want to talk about the differences between the two, why it's important for you. So let's talk about linear income first, because that's the one that a lot of us don't. We get paid now, okay, but we don't like it because it's everything that residual income is not. And a lot of us want the residual income. We can taste it, we can see it, we can, some of us are getting checks on a monthly basis, and they're just not as big as you want them to be just yet. Well, that doesn't mean quit. That doesn't mean go do 3 different opportunities so you can get 3 different small checks. That means to focus on one thing until you get to a full-time income with that and then go to something different. I try to say that to people, don't take that out of context because there are some of us in the industry that are actually, we're complete advocates of the industry. If I can buy a product in network marketing, even if I'm not going to build the company, if it's affordable or I can save money, I'm going to buy it, so it gives me the opportunity to still earn income, but I just may not do it as my primary opportunity. So definitely take that, don't take that out of context. We do believe in residual income, regardless of where it comes from for you, but focusing is the most important thing. So linear income is also known as transactional income. You guys hear that a lot. A lot of you know it as, your salary. A lot of you know it as earned income for the hours that you've invested within your job to get paid one time in the form of wages or commissions or salary, right? Do something once. You guys have heard this before. Some of you may have heard this before. Do something once and get paid only once. You are trading your time for money, and you're constantly having to do that in order to make money. There are many people that actually, it's not just people with jobs, folks. It's actually people that own traditional businesses too. And there's nothing wrong with traditional businesses or a job for that matter. You hear a lot of people talk, well, JOB, just over broke. Let me put it this way. A job a lot of times gets you from point A to wherever it is that your destination is that you're looking to go in your life. Everybody a lot of times starts out with a job, okay? They have to start out with a job. So don't ever find yourself talking necessarily negative about a job. Like, you're crazy to have a job. You should be doing residual income. It does take time and it does take experience and knowledge of the industry to get to where you want to go. But here's the key. We're all focusing a lot of our time and our efforts right now on linear income, when we really should be taking the time that we have available that's free from our jobs to focus on the activities in which we can create residual income. Because when we put something, effort into something once, you're going to find out here in just a second, you can get paid over and over and over again for that. And then some of you have actually experienced that, which is why we obviously love the industry. All right, but let's talk about the disadvantages of linear income. All right. Let's say you become disabled or you become sick. Guess what happens to your income? A lot of times it stops. Unless you were really, really, lucky, and you got maybe you got some disability insurance or something through your employer, or you've got some type of life insurance coverage that covers disabilities, dismemberment, whatever it may be that happens in your life. But I'll tell you, most people, it's hindsight, it's hindsight 2020. Most people don't even think about that stuff until it actually happens, and then it's too late. And when you're working at a job and you're working really, really hard, your income, okay, could stop any day. I actually have a gentleman that I know that's personal to me that he's a friend of a friend in our family, and he owns a farm, right? And he actually lost his leg in a farming accident. And I'll tell you, when you lose a leg and you're a farmer, it's really, really difficult, obviously, because you got to bend down, you're milking cows, you're doing things that typically require a lot of labor, a lot of hard work and things. And when you're just learning to walk without a leg, it's very, very difficult, regardless of whatever they have today for prosthetics and things like that. It truly takes time to recover from stuff like that. So guess what? Your income, your life could literally change within a matter of minutes, like seconds. So that's one disadvantage to linear income. What if you take the day off? What if you go on vacation? Now, some of you actually have with your jobs, which I love to hear this from people. They're like, oh, well, I've got 2 weeks paid vacation. Okay, well, great. How many years did you have to work to actually get that income or to get that vacation? Okay, and how many people go on vacation? I know you guys can't raise your hand, but if you're working a job, how many people go on vacation and they're still worried about their job because they're worried somebody else is going to take their place, they're going to get fired, things are not going to get done, and they're worried that they're going to have to come back to a big mess, right? Or that they may not come back to a job at all because they're afraid somebody else is going to replace them, right? I know that I had that feeling throughout my the years within corporate America. I had that feeling several times. I mean, I knew that when Sunday came around, I had to get up and go to work. And I knew that if I didn't like what I was doing, I still had to do it anyways if I was going to get paid. The problem is if I didn't show up for work, guess what? The income didn't come. And sometimes you get lucky and you have the vacation time, and you sometimes will get paid for it, right? But most people don't earn vacation time for a year, sometimes 2 years to be able to take a vacation or time off, regardless of the circumstance. So that's definitely a disadvantage. Now, no matter how hard you work, okay, tomorrow, you could be laid off by any job. I've seen it time and time and time again. I've had so many people. I used to work in the financial industry. I worked in banking for 11 years, and I was in management. And I'll tell you, folks, I had people crying on my shoulder. I had people talking about just their situation. I mean, literally, it was heartbreaking. And I wanted so much to reach out to them, to help them. And quite honestly, it's not the time to bring up residual income, in certain circumstances like that. Not always, but in a situation like that, I was very honest with people. I told people, I said, there's another way. There really, truly is another way. If it made sense for me, that opened the door in the conversation to say, what is your plan B? What is your plan C? What is it that you're trying to accomplish financially so that you have a nest egg if you are still going to work a job? But linear income should not be what your dependable income is, because it can go away at any point in time. Okay, you can only save so much now. It's so expensive to live today that most people don't save 10% of their income. Most people don't even save 2% of their income. And if they do, they're using, I can tell you, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people I've seen checking accounts. I mean, most people use that money and they put it in their checking account, or they have it direct deposit in their savings account, and they transfer to their checking account before they get paid again because they need the money, right? So you're trading your time for money. That's the next bullet point. You're always trading your time for money. And that's not really the way that it should be. I know a lot of us are programmed for that over the years. They teach us that in school. They teach us to work hard, to do good in school, and to go to college, work hard, get a good job, and retire in 40 years, and then, of course, live the great retirement life. How many people, folks, do you know that are in Walmart and other areas, CVS, Target, and other places of business that have had to go back to work after the retirement because they just cannot afford to live on their income. Well, that's because they were dependent on linear income their entire life. And I'll tell you, it's definitely not the way that I would teach my children or the people that I come in contact with on a daily basis if they ask me for financial advice. So residual income is the absolute way to go, and there's many different ways to achieve that. Ingresso Cybernetico just happens to be an incredible way to do that with our unilevel compensation plan, as well as our business center income, which is our upfront income. Okay, so your income is always based on how many hours you work in a day, and that really goes kind of hand in hand with your trading your time for money. But remember, if you want to make a certain amount of money, you know how much you're going to get paid per hour, which is a disadvantage because most of us don't get paid. Most of you don't get paid more than $20 an hour. It's not typical to see most people make $20 an hour. Most people make anywhere between, at least from my experience doing financial applications and things like that, most people make anywhere between like $12 to $16 to $18 an hour. And I know a lot of you are very, very hard workers. You take your jobs very, very seriously. Some of you love your jobs, but you're just not being paid what you're worth. And unfortunately, to determine whatever it is you need to make on a certain given week or month, you have to put in the time each and every week, each and every day in order to achieve that, and you're not leveraging your time. And I'll tell you, time is very, very important. Time is very, very precious. This life goes by very, very quickly. So, and a lot of people, the disadvantage to linear income also is that you're dependent on your job, which goes hand in hand with what I just talked about. You're having to always go in there. You know that you have to show up for your job, and you could work as hard as you can today, but you're not going to get paid any more than the hours that you've worked. All right, now let's talk about residual income. This is really the greatest way to wealth creation today. I mean, truly it is, and there's many different ways to do that. You can do it through rental properties. You can do it through Ingresso Cybernetico, right? You can do it through many different means. You could own land. I know people that own land that oil is pumped out of, right? And they get royalty income. I know people that have written books that get royalty income. Those are examples of residual income. The difference is most of us don't have the gifts and talents or to get lucky where you buy a piece of land and of course all of a sudden there's oil on it, right? Or they put a windmill up there and pay your residual income. There's many different ways to residual income. It's not just through internet marketing or direct sales and network marketing. There's many different ways, but truly, honestly, you want to have as many avenues of residual income as possible. We're not talking about many avenues of many businesses for you to be in our industry to try to make the income. We're talking about you diversify, right? Be diverse. Find out different ways to really spread yourself out so that you can protect yourself from inflation. You can protect yourself from all different kinds of different things that hit us in life. Residual income is also called passive income. We talked about that. A lot of you hear passive income. How many times, I know you guys could all raise your hand, how many times have you all heard opportunities referred to as passive opportunities and most of the time you hear the words passive used in context with a company that they're saying you can join and do nothing and get paid for it. All right, and that is the biggest misrepresentation of residual income that I've ever heard. You cannot join a company and do nothing and earn a substantial residual income, regardless of what opportunity it is. If you've made $200 or $300 in a program like that, great. But I'm telling you right now, you'll never making $200 or $300 once is not residual income. It's linear income, right? So it's the biggest misconception. It's the biggest lie in the industry, really, truly, is that people come out with this word passive, and truly it does mean residual income, right? But let me put it this way, folks. Passive income is income that you've done something once and been paid for it over and over and over again. Let me repeat that. You've done something once, or you've worked hard at something for initially, and you've put initial effort into it, and it has the potential to continue to pay you long term over and over and over again, regardless of whether or not it was completed a year to 2 years ago, right? I mean, that is the key word there. People use passive in respect to different programs out there on the internet today, and a lot of us hear that, and we actually apply the word passive to those type of programs. Well, that's not true. I mean, passive income is residual income. You get paid for something you've started, not something that you've finished. Okay, we've heard that over and over again in the industry. So, and that is the correct way. It's also called reoccurring income, leveraged income. You know, we're leveraging not only our time but the time of others as we continue to build out our organizations and our teams. That is really truly how residual income is made. Residual income, folks, is applicable to many different areas of the world, really. I mean, as far as, you know, corporate businesses get paid off the efforts of those that are employees. Okay, I love the little diagrams of the pyramid schemes, and I love people that use that context that they don't know what they're talking about when they say, you know, it's always just a pyramid scheme, right? Well, look at your, I mean you all know this, but look at your, you know, look at your family tree. I mean, it looks like a pyramid, right? Look at your, you know, you start with the CEO, you start with vice presidents, you start with managers, supervisors, then employees. I mean, yeah, it looks like a pyramid. Who cares? You know, the whole concept is, though, is that business owners, entrepreneurs understand residual income, and they literally are leveraging your time to pay you linear income. So guess what? They can make residual income. All right, and again, there's many different types of residual income out there. It can be in royalties. Again, it could be in real estate, all different kinds of things. So let's talk about the advantages. We've already kind of touched on some of these. You know, the income grows exponentially. You know, again, you've started it, and you're not the one to stop it. You literally can't stop it. If you do it right, you can never stop your residual income. It literally just grows exponentially over and over and over again, regardless of whether you put work in tomorrow, the next day, or the next day. And folks, that is the addicting part to our industry. It's not about just making a few $100s. It's really truly about the idea that we can work hard today and for the next 12 months or 3 years, and we can retire, okay, on the efforts that we put into a business opportunity for the last 3 years, okay, or last 5 years, or whatever it may be. I say 3 to 5 years because the people that talk about an opportunity where you can, you know, start it and then stop it in 6 months and retire, it's not typical of our industry. But that is what sometimes gets taught to some of you out there, and that's what gets said to a lot of you out there through email spam, through all the different avenues in which we get hit with spam every day, you know, with opportunities, right? You know, you could stop working tomorrow and your income still grows. You know, that's kind of goes hand in hand with the income grows exponentially. It offers financial independence. That truly is possible with residual income. And then, of course, you know, you work hard again. We talked about this already, but you work hard again, and you get paid over and over and over again for something you started once, something you started, not that you finished, right? And it does truly reward you with time freedom. I was talking briefly about the gentlemen that, or maybe somebody that owns a traditional business. Well, I know a lot of people that own traditional businesses, and what happens is their business owns them a lot of times. You know, if especially with like gas stations, you know, you see it sometimes with McDonald's and places like that where people don't show up for work, right? Their employees don't show up for work. Well, guess who has to cover that shift if it's needed? If you don't have other employees, you got to. So your time is really, your business owns you. Some people have the, you know, I've growing up, you know, you find people that say, you know, they have a beautiful house, right? They have a beautiful house, they have maybe a nice car, and then you go to, you know, you never see them. You never see them in the yard, you never see them in the beautiful pool they have back in the back of the yard. Because, why? Because their business owns them every single day. I used to work on a farm when I was young for a gentleman that I truly have so much respect for. He taught me a lot as a young adult, and about responsibility and many other things. And he just, you know, he could never take a vacation, ever. And finally, he taught me to do the things that he had done, and I always did a great job at it, and it awarded him the ability for him and his family to go on a vacation, something he had not done for many, many years with his wife and his family. It's the same concept here, folks. It's not so much about a farm and things like that, but it's the same concept here, is that if you want to create residual income, okay, there's many different things that you need to know. You know, first of all, I want to ask you, where are you spending most of your time today? Are you focused on linear income because you're more concerned about getting up and going to your job and then coming home, you know, saying that you're too tired to do anything online, and then of course putting it off for days and days and days, and then wondering why you're not making residual income on the internet, right? Your time is very, very valuable. You know, we all understand that. We don't want you necessarily to give up, you know, certain things, but there are certain compromises you do have to take in your life if you do want to achieve greatness, right? If you want to, not for everybody, but if you want to achieve residual income, it takes time and dedication. So there's things that you got to get rid of in order to achieve that if you're working full time and you don't have the time during the day to divide for your job or for your business and to work your regular job, right? You've got to find ways to be able to do that. Cut out the TV, you know, cut out the PlayStation, the Xboxes, the going out to the bars and drinking and things like that. You know, all of that stuff. And I know Dwayne's talked about that actually. You know, where are you spending most of your time? You know, what are you doing with your time? And let me just say this, your time is extremely valuable. You need to focus your time right now. If you want to have financial freedom in the next 3 to 5 years, if you don't already have it now, then you need to focus on the things that are going to pay you over and over again doing the work once. That's Ingresso Cybernetico for a lot of us, right? Ingresso Cybernetico rewards every single person that comes into this company the ability to create financial freedom, enjoy great products, save money, and create a group of people that obviously have the same vision of values as they do, and to grow, you know, together. So last thing I want to close with is, you know, what is one of the important tips to creating long-term residual income? And I think you guys can figure that out, but this is just one of them, and that is duplication. If you are going to continue to be paid for things over and over and over again through the hard work that you're putting in today, guess what? You've got to teach people to do the things that you're doing to get the same results. A lot of you don't spend the time to do that. And a lot of it's because you're so focused on working your business that you're not investing the time with the people that you brought into the company. When some people get that mixed up, you know, some people, they sponsor 2 people, and then they leave them kind of high and dry, and then they go try to sponsor the next 2 and the next 2 and the next 2. Well, let me just say this, you know, there's no sponsorship requirements here at Ingresso Cybernetico. Focus on the 2 people you brought into the company. If they're willing to go out there and work hard and they're dedicated to Ingresso Cybernetico, then help them achieve what you did. Help them achieve the 2 people that it took for you to get started with Ingresso Cybernetico, to lay the foundation for future success, right? Because it starts with 2 people. It starts one left and one right. And teach that throughout your organization. Teach them in a way that they can duplicate themselves quickly and effectively. Don't teach them to come in at $50 and put one left and one right and do the same thing. That's not the true way to build a long-term residual income. Teach them the right way. Teach them the way to come into the business at the value that they can afford, or at the amount that they can afford, which typically you want to set up a recommendation, right? You don't want to recommend something you haven't done yourself. However, 500, the 300, the 100, the 50, come in at those business centers or higher is the recommended, you know, the recommended way to do it, and duplicate that and teach that duplication. As soon as you get 2 people, focus on helping those people if they're willing to help themselves. If they're not willing to help themselves, then go to somebody else, because duplication is required in order to create long-term residual income. So I hope everybody got that part, because it really truly is important that you have to have duplication in order to create long-term residual income that grows exponentially. And that's pretty much it, folks. That is pretty much it for the training tonight. I see some of you actually have some feedback here, so I'd like to, if anybody has any feedback or questions about anything we covered, I know it's pretty simple stuff, but if you do have any questions or feedback that you'd like to share with me tonight, that you'd like me to share with the rest of the audience, please let me know. I'll hang out for another 2 minutes or so, because I know there is a little bit of a lag here. So let me know. But thank you all so much for your attendance tonight. Truly hope that you got some value out of this. You know, again, a lot of us hear that word passive income. That was a big one for me, because I hear passive all the time used in the wrong context. Passive income is residual income. Some people just consider it a way to join something, do nothing, and get paid over and over again. It's not that way. It is possible for you to do something, okay, to work hard at something and get paid over and over again, okay, from the initial effort that you put into it. But I don't know of anybody that's created a passive residual income that did nothing and joined a company and was paid residual monthly income after doing nothing from the initial joining of a company. I've never seen it. So Again, I'll hang out for a minute or so. If you guys have any questions or feedback, again, please type them in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to take a look at them or read them or share them with everybody, and then we'll go ahead and call it an evening. And actually, we're done in 30 minutes tonight, so that's pretty awesome. And again, folks, there's a very slight delay, so you guys may actually be watching the video and then waiting for me to respond. But I'm sitting here waiting, I'm looking at the live chat. I don't see any comments. I don't see any feedback tonight. So a lot of you obviously are here. You're taking notes, and you're here to to learn some of the stuff. Some of the stuff may even be new to you. So again, I want to thank you all so much again. I don't see any comments, but I will watch the chat after I go ahead and close it out. But I do want to thank you again so much for your time. I truly, truly appreciate it. All of you, I truly appreciate when you guys show up here and are on our training calls. And tomorrow night, I believe at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Tom's got a training that he's going to do in regards to one of the topics. I don't know specifically. If you guys go back to your Ingresso Cybernetical back office under the webinars tab, take a look at that. Make sure you're registered for that, because truly it is important that you stay connected with the training calls. And then of course next week there's going to be all kinds of exciting things happening. I'm sure there'll be announcements and updates from the company. There always is, and we're always anticipating that and with excitement. And there's so many just incredible things happening here from now until the end of the year, that you want to just stay plugged in, you want to stay focused, but more importantly, you want to be out there building your business and talking to people about the products that we have. Don't always talk about the income. Talk about the products, because remember, folks, products sell. Products do, and especially if we have a product that people need, which we do, absolutely, we do, and we just need to find those people, because they will literally look at the value in the referral base that we have, the compensation plan that we have, and a lot of them will join without any questions asked. So with that, have a wonderful evening. Thank you all so much. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next webinar.